오사시보기 조심해도 자마마리 어머린시 니에데기네 마니 상계시니누 미대오와 이드로쿠노 나맘다 신의 언어쇼마라 이당구르라 나멘다다
상계
초당석이 천남나 장초바두다니 겹서지 나기 진행계 배송남계 드로라 벤체 상계 중하숑
상계
초당석이 천남나 장초바두다니 겹서지 나기 진행계 배송남계 드로라 벤체 상계 중하숑
상계
초당석이 천남나 장초바두다니 겹서지 나기 진행계 배송남계 드로라 벤체 상계 중하숑
놀래는 뭐좀 이는 좋아보니라 탐재게 좋다 저던 한개 주진이 좀 따뜻해 보면 담배진이 되는 여러분들 좋아서로 Yeah, so oneself, the motivation of oneself, that even achieve the ultimate happiness, the liberation from samsara, blissful state of peace for oneself. That really, even though it is in regards meaningful of life, is then the second one, the middle one, but however, it is not really, the best meaningful life. So the meaningful life, then that is the real meaningful life, then that is to benefit the sentient beings, including even one insect, even one person. And then to benefit it, then one must stop giving harm to be able to benefit it. Now then from there, the numberless sentient beings, numberless helpings, hungry ghosts, animals, human beings, sura beings, asura beings, they are numberless universe, they are numberless human beings, so not only human beings in the world. So order to free all of them from the oceans of samsara suffering, not all that, and bring everyone to the total cessation of obscurations and grow subtle, the completion of all the realization, the Sangye. So by myself alone, therefore through that I must achieve set omniscience myself. Then so even you achieve the arahatship, still there's a cause unknowing. They haven't abandoned. So still can't do perfect work for the sentient beings. So comparing to us, myself now, I mean, that's sort of like enlightenment being compared to myself. So like that. So, but you see, cannot do perfect work without slightest mistake. See, work with sentient being, because for cause of unknowing, they haven't abandoned. One is the secret actions of Buddha. Also can be qualities. So that arahatas, even they have incredible cosmic realization, unbelievable miracle powers they can show, and unbelievable, yes, but cannot see the secret actions of Buddhas. Then there's one unknowing. Then another one is the third karmas. Chinta probably. So, as you heard many times, the story even from myself. Because he got fed up. I think he was 80 years old or something. He got fed up by being teased by every day by the children in the family, and then he thought to go to monastery, so then he will have great peace. One day he went to the monastery. Then the abbot of the monastery is a man called Jipu. Not the man called Sheripu. Not the man called Sheripu. So he saw the abbot of the monastery, Sharipu, but the abbot didn't accept him. He's too old and he cannot memorize, he cannot serve others. Memorize cannot do, he cannot do even service to the sanghas. The monastery he can't do that. He's too old, and he didn't accept, and said you have no karma to become a monk. So he bent down his head on the door of the monastery, and then he cried. And then he went to the park of the monastery and cried. And then that time Buddha was in India, so Buddha was able to see that was happening with him. So Buddha appeared there and asked what happened. Then he explained the problems, and then Buddha said, I have completed the merits of wisdom, merits of fortune. So therefore I could see that you have karma to be a monk. But the Sharipu, the Arhat, it hasn't completed the merits of wisdom, merits of virtue. So therefore we can't see that you have karma to be a monk. So such a long time ago, there was a stupa and there was cow dung around. So the water, the curtain, he was taken by water, or also smelled the cow tongue. So went around the stupa one time, just one time. Just one time. That's the karma. That was such unbelievable length of time ago. So that's a kind of self karma. So I can see, but that Sharipu, the Arhat could not see that. That's one cause of unknowing. So, so I could see that you come to be a monk. So he checked, Buddha checked who can subdue him, look after him. Is Mengelji Buddha, who is excellent in psychic power. Sharipu is excellent with the wisdom among the Buddhist disciples. So then he went in the monastery with abbot is Mengelji Buddha. Then Buddha handed over to Mengelji Buddha to look after him. So he became a monk. And again in the monastery, all the young monks teach him, play with him, teach him every day. So he got fat with that, and he jumped, without receiving permission from the abbot, he just jumped, he went out and just jumped in the river. So then, that time Mengelji Buddha, the abbot was looking around with his clairvoyance, the monk is. Could not find the monk in the monastery. He saw with his clairvoyance, he saw the monk just jumped in the river. So he appeared, the abbot appeared there, the shore of the river, and then grabbed him and said, the old monk, and then the old monk was completely shocked. He didn't expect, so they completely shocked, and he couldn't speak well. Then he expressed him, so why you jumped? And then Mengelji said, you just this whole corner of my robe, then flew away in the sky, went on, then there was huge amount of bones. So I landed on that, and then Mengelji sat, and then the older man sat down below. Then the older man asked, whose bone is this? And then Mengelji said, this is your past life bone. This is your past life bone. I was born there on a very large, I don't know, intellectual choosing, but I don't know exactly what, it's called water line, but I think wild was a large animal in the ocean. So that was his past life. His past life was wild in the ocean. So that was born of his past life. So as soon as he heard that, then hair stood up from the paws. He got a renunciation of samsara, nature suffering. So he got renunciation from that, just from that, by hearing that. Samsara, nature suffering. That then in that life he actualized the renunciation from that. Then is in that life he achieved direct perception of emptiness, direct wisdom. Wisdom directly perceiving emptiness, ultimate nature, right view. So then that life he became Arhat, destroyer, the enemy, delusion, say, Dachompa. So he became Arhat. So all of that. So that's, so the unknowing, the not the subtle karma. So Buddha then he completes the merit of wisdom, merit of virtue, so ishik so. Completed, so therefore they achieve omniscience, so there's no the focus or unknowing. All the Buddha explained. So actually, so yeah, so that's so. So I think, for example, butterfly has different color, different designs. So karma of each design, karma of each spot. The insects or the butterflies, so many colors, so many designs. So each spot, each color, like Peacock's feather has different color, so that is cause for each one is regard to self karma. So I make the sort of similar to then butterfly has a wing, has so much color and so much design. So cause of each design is self karma. To understand with that, why yes, butterfly got this design with each spot, each color. Oh, that's self karma. So you see why butterflies got. Same thing, the human body. On the human body, you different marks. You're born with it, or it come later. They should be same also self karma, I think. So the color of the peacock, a different color, that is self karma. That's the same thing, you see. So, for example, you see the mark here, this is mark on the red color, then this mark on the yellow color. This is mark, you see, it's design. For example, plant, you see, on the plant, small, tiny plant, it's very interesting leaves and very interesting design. So tiny flower, there's color, and there's a design, it's such a small flower, has incredible nice design, it's so small. So that's understand the cause of that. Each one is self karma. So why it happened, why this happened. Self karma, that means came from your mind. And that comes from your mind. As you see, it comes from your mind. So in a Tara house, so with some students, bringing them in the garden or some, not in the garden, I think maybe in the forest or some there's flowers or plants. So I was telling them, because the Geshe Toga was there. So anyway, I was telling the students, look at this plant, so much design, all this came from your mind, came from karma, came from your karma. So that's a self karma. There's such a tiny design or color, whatever it is. What is big flower or the small tiny flower? So I was telling them, it came from your mind. Came from your mind, So all that things. So like that, the whole thing, where you were form, where you were looking, the sound of. They were listening, the object, form, sound, smell, what you are smelling, the tangible object, smell, object, smell, taste. The whole thing, what you enjoy, what you experiencing, all come from your mind. Come from your mind. Yeah. So, including this tiny flower designs, so incredible. Tiny flower or the large flower with so many colors and designs. So same. So the whole thing, form, sound, smell, touch, everything came from the mind. Created by the mind, came to the mind. So I don't remember exact words, but I was telling them how that's very good mindfulness meditation. When you walk, when you're in forest, when you're in garden, with this mindfulness walk around. Besides making offering your guru, your guru, making offering everything, all the beauty, visible, all the beauties, make offering. Besides that, you see practice mindfulness, how it's all come from your mind. This is excellent mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't have to be only for walking, only with the feet, no. Only with your toes. Oh no, it doesn't mean only your feet. If you don't have feet, then you have no mindfulness. If you don't have feet, joking. You get the mindfulness on your nose. But if you lost your nose, then maybe, no, I'm joking. Sorry. So that's very interesting mindfulness. So, for example, if you are trekking, pilgrimage, trekking, sightseeing, this is mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness like that. This is how everything came from your mind. Yes, how everything came from your mind. You see, nothing exists, nothing from its own side. Even though it appears, but it is a hallucination. It's not there. It is a hallucination. It's not there. If you check it, it's not there. So then that's a very easy way to meditate on emptiness, right view. So so through that. So how everything came from the mind. So mindfulness. So kasang. So I'm using that logic, you see, reason. So all this is incredible thing. See, plant. If for example, plant, it's a tiny flower. That's so much design, all that. So who made it? The God made. And yeah. Who made it? All that. Itself doesn't have mind. So, you see. So anyway, who made it? Itself doesn't have mind. I want to be like that. It doesn't mind. So anyway, so all this, all the beautiful things that you see, all the in your view, all the beautiful things, what you see, all come from your good karma, Then all the ugly you don't like, all the ugly bad things, bad ones. In your view, what you see, bad ones, all come from your mind. In your view, all the ugly, bad things come from your mind, your negative mind. All the good ones come from your positive mind, healthy mind, virtue thought, positive thought. So that. So therefore, the whole thing from sound, smell, taste, sensible object, all the bad and good. So everything comes from your mind. All the good ones are good ones, and they come from your healthy mind, your positive mind, virtue thought. And all the ugly bad ones come from your mind, negative mind, negative thought. So that everything. So therefore, you see how the plants, how beautiful, how incredible design, unbelievable design, the colors, spot, amazing. Each different flowers, the leaves of each flower exactly fit to the flower. I mean, amazing. So if you check all these details, unbelievable how in all these nice things, then came from your good karma, your virtue thought, positive thought, you see, not negative or positive thought. So because of that, then I use the logic. Yes, you can achieve enlightenment. You practice Dharma. If you meet correct Dharma and the complete path, if you meet correct Dharma, yes, condensed in the Lama teaching, middle, lower teaching of the lower. Teaching of the lower capable being, teaching of the middle capable being, teaching of the high capable being. So all the teachings included in that. So Tantra teaching the high capable into the high capable being. So if you meet the correct teaching and complete teaching, there is teaching path that shows path that leads to enlightenment, complete path. So if you meet correct teaching and complete teaching, then you are able to exercise path and cease all that gross subtle defilements and the ability to achieve enlightenment. So I use this plants. You see, such beautiful plants like this, small or big. However, that you are able to enjoy, able to see these things through your past good karma, because of incredible design, so like that. So same thing. This is as example. You can achieve enlightenment. Oh, the power of mind. This is the flowers like this was the power of your good karma. Oh, that is. So that's how then you can see, you can actualize, you can meet correct Dharma. You can actualize the complete path. Achieve enlightenment. You can achieve enlightenment. Oh, I use that as reason to prove you can achieve enlightenment. Oh, so that's good to think. When you see nice flowers outside, the flowers is one example, but you can other examples there. You can use that how they exist. It's come from your good karma. That you see nice in your view, come from your good karma. Oh, like that you can achieve enlightenment. Oh, you can remove the defilements, causal sufferings, the obscurations, you can achieve enlightenment. Oh, I use that. post-sentient being. So like that. So that energizes you. That see, instead of depression, I can't do it again. Then this to energize your mind. It's how it's possible. Like this, how it's possible. All this, even here, just here, in the view, how it's possible. All this similar. The enlightenment is, we can achieve enlightenment like that. So highest achievement. So like that is good to you. You could use like that to inspire yourself. However, as I mentioned the other day when Sanghas went for dinner, so I mentioned that at the end we did dedication. So the benefactors of Pema Sambhava statue. So at the end I went to dedication. So with all the sanghas we did dedication. So there's in the danger the war, famine, war is easy to understand, came from mind, created by mind. It's about delusion, by hallucinated mind, ignorance. And then also self-cherishing thoughts. Yes. Then it's created by anger, due to attachment. So basically that created by ignorance and the war, and then like that famine, disease, COVID, disease and famine and all this danger, and also I said it's not natural disaster, not nature. It came from it came from the karma. It's come from mind. Certain beings who experience the danger of earth, danger of water, danger of fire, danger of wind, all these tornado and all the different problems. And, so all those things came from the karma. Without karma, those won't exist. So we came from karma, which karma, not virtuous karma, but non-virtuous karma, or negative mind. So all this came from negative mind. So it's not natural disaster, no. Natural disaster means it exists from a society. It means natural disaster means it exists from a society. No, it's totally wrong. There nothing exists from a society. Nothing exists from a society. Everything exists in the mere name, mere image of our mind. So therefore everything is empty of existing from their inside. Everything is empty of existing from their inside. So therefore, even those dangers, earthquake dangers, earth dangers, water dangers, fire, wind, all those things, of course, mere level of our mind. Everything says in mere name, mere level of our mind, so it came to the mind. So it's not natural disaster. Karma, came from karma, negative karma, so not natural disaster. Then also mere level of our mind, so that it's not natural disaster. So without mind, it doesn't exist. Without mind, which experience in that suffering, without mind, that suffering, suffering, that problem, that danger of earth, danger of water, danger of fire, the wind and those do not exist. So all of that. My new project is actually I think it's connected with the environment. Just thought came in my mind. There's a unbelievable saying Buddha Pema Sambhava predicted unbelievable shortcomings, smoking cigarette and sniffing cemetery jail. How incredible danger to the environment. Cause war and disease and famine, all the things, and then dangers of earthquakes and water floods and all these things, and then wind, water, then water problems, and then all those water floods and all those things. It's happening in many countries in the world, especially on the China and America. It doesn't matter how much rich the country is, it's still happening. Also, disaster for America, unbelievable disaster, hot. The climate completely changes. It's cold or hot, or then it's hot or hot, the cold. I mean, unbelievable change. So his son said, during our time, during this life, it is okay, but life after that, not during this life, but life after that, life after his son says his son's life, for example, his son's life. During this time it's okay, but after this, then they will be incredible in the world. Unbelievable soul, unbelievable heart, and unbelievable. So all this happens. The next one, the next life, or it's not saying that he will experience. It's not saying that. Comparing time, then during his own life, then it's okay. But after that, there will be so much difficulties in the West and especially in the world. So the world is going down to degeneration. You see. Gradually to end. So I mean, 7 sunrises, then the whole world is a fire, mountains get melted, rocks get melted, and all that. That's descriptions in the, I think it's Amitabha Buddhist or other teachings, and it's described. You see the world end. This begin and end. Begin and end. I think something, I'm not sure. 20 intermediate eon for evolution of the world, 20 intermediation existing, and 20 intermediate eon for ending the world. Zamburin Chawal Paganishu, Zamburin Never Paganishu, Zamburin Jibble Paganishu, Zamburin Tongwal Paganishu, Pagirwa. Nishu, really, Jeju. So, my memory is very bad. So, their application said 80 intermediate eon. 80 intermediate eon for evolution of the world, 80 intermediate eon for existing, and 80 intermediate eon for ending. Then while it's empty, how long it's empty, then 80 intimate is young. So like that. So now it's all slowly ending, you see. It is mentioned in the Liberation Poem by Amitabha the Jingbo, the next life, because the next life, next it's put up to the world end. Because human beings' life were down to 10th age, 10th. Then the Amitabha descent, that's what the time, very tall, holy body, and like that. Then people wonder why, how it happened. Then, because it came from good karma, then everyone get inspired to call it good karma. So that. The time mentioned in the Liberation Poem by Amitabha when Amitabha descent. So anyway, sorry. By the way, I mentioned my project. Recent time. So recent just unbelievable tradition. So. Of course, there's all this danger of earth, danger of water, fire, all those. It's so bad. The opium, tobacco, the smoking, the sleeping, and all that. Unbelievable. It harms the others, not only human beings, it harms nagas and other landlords and other beings, devils. When the other beings harms, destroy so much cities or their culture. Yeah. So much harm, the environment. Anyway, so also trying to make. It is mentioned with the teachings, and I mean, it is mentioned with Dharma, but it is not not well known, not well advertised. You see. So I was thinking to advertise him. I mean, in Nepal, first in Nepal, I finished, from my side I finished. Then after that, Jikol is a monk from Gabon who was in charge of all the monasteries in Nepal. Working with him, so he thought the cover is expensive, and then covers skeleton smoking cigarette, and the plums came from my eyes, and then you destroy your health, so then smoking, then the world. Burned by fire and sort of, probably that's expensive. So he's inside subject so little, so need more pages. So I extended for people, advice for people how to be better human being, how to be good human being. So I just mix about this life and the future life and all that. Responsibility, you see, all the happiness for all the future life is that also happiness this life, yes, not just only human, not just only this life, but mixed with the, you see, this life and all the future is happiness. So, then at the end, science mentioned about those dangers. Smoking, cigarettes, sleeping. There's the danger, the mention. So then I put the science, what I mentioned, put together. So those people don't hardly believe the previous explanation, like Pema Sambhava, there's many enlightened beings. So then they can believe the science, you see. They can believe the science. And by having science, it helps. So massage is finished. So then in Nepali, first in Nepali, this forward by famous, some singers was famous person. So in Nepal, the people then take it seriously. Then I want to make it all over the world to spread this environment. That's the most important thing in the environment. I think there are many things people talk about the environment, but I want to emphasize this one. This worst thing, environment. So many people don't know about this. So very, very humble other sentient beings besides human beings, other sentient. So this I want to spread in the world, so to help. So see, reduce these dangers of earth, water, fire, all these things reduce, So the people abandon, this black, this Mara's prayer or Mara's creation, this to harm the people who practice Dharma or to harm the people, sentient beings. So all this, so I'm thinking to do that, so ask to get to help, and then maybe somebody can send forward, I don't know, maybe as soon as I'm not sure, but I want to do that. So to help the environment, that's a very good thing to help the environment. So even though this smoking cigarette it has been discovered very bad for health, basically health, then more restrictions and happened. You see, in the restaurant you can't smoke, or you have to go to certain place to smoke, or something like that. There's more. But that was just for health. So anyway, what do you say? So here the story is Chinda Pape. So when it was a long time ago, unbelievable time ago, was born as a fly. Then there was cow dung around, following the smell of the cow dung. So they went around the stupa, one time. So then, as a result of that virtue, that small virtue, is that is the great cause of enlightenment. So then later, you see, in the front Buddha, he become Kasure. Arhatship. So by meeting the abbot, the Mango Jipu, also like that, you see. So, so the Kasure. So they went to Kasa. 7 tiny insects on the leaf carried on the water. In the water, maybe wind. Suddenly went around. Not Stupa, but that's a Buddha Kashyapa statue, I think. Went around 3 times, I think. Went around. Then, because of that, so powerful, you see, unbelievable. So when wind carried, so on the leaf, went around 3 times around with the Kashyapa statue. So next life, they are born human being. Next life, so that purified, unbelievable negative karma, caused the Lord in purified, and they were born human being. Next life. The 7 tiny insects on the leaf went down 3 times. So it's purified so much negative karma, past history, caused to be reborn Lord. So, yeah. And college married, you see, then born human being. Human being, I think human being, by the raw caste. So go to so much renunciation through the caste and So then the next life, the king, one king in India. One king, I don't remember named King Kashika or one king, born as the third and I think 7 daughters. They were born women, I think, 7 daughters. King's daughter. So, I mean, there was the underworld and all that, you see. And I don't remember the name of the king. That's quite common name, the king of the king's name. Not Kashika, I'm not sure. Sorry. So, born daughter to the king. So then met Buddha Kashika, Sanju Osum, one before Shakyamuni Buddha. Met Buddha, so Buddha, then Buddha preached him for enlightenment. Buddha preached them in the enlightenment. You have to understand. So the basic thing, how that come is because there were tiny insects on the leaf, and they went 3 round with the Kashyapa's statue. Went around 3 times. Not that they knew that this is Buddha Kashyapa, nothing like that. Because power of the, not from their motivation, but it's a power, not from their motivation, because of virtue or Buddhism, nothing. It's power of the object, the statue, Buddha Kashyapa. So from that, the actions going 3 round become Dharma, cosmic enlightenment. Or then the second life, then they were born to the king's daughter, and they met Buddha Kashyapa, and Buddha Kashyapa preached the enlightenment, all sort of this. So therefore, upon many ants. So I do time to time. I do take them around So the ants in the room and around the bed. So take them around, by putting tissue paper or things like that. Take them around there's an altar that go around with the kind of layers. So many small stupas to hold the objects around. So there's a release on top, and then so take them around. So a few times. So if you have time, then a few times around with it, and put it outside. So mostly unagendas, they're taking them around, around the holy object, you see. Or the outside there's 1,000 Buddha that are over light, many lights, flowers. Then outside the 1,000 Buddha, there's I take them around, so that's you can walk much around. So also it's done many. That was done like that was done so much, so many times. So sooner or later, so everyone they will be born human being. So I'm sure. I'm sure we meet him. We meet, but of course, from my side, wouldn't know this was the human being. Postbasla was ant. So last time, you remember last time here, there's this much portal I gave to each family, to put in the kitchen to take the insects, take them around to hold the object, So last time I gave to each family. So so upstairs in my room, down to the table, I said there were the holy objects, And there I saw that's all those pictures I saw sat there. So thinking, you see, when you take them around, you're bringing them to enlightenment. But actually, they're bringing you to enlightenment also. They are bringing, because you're going around, by taking them, they think you're bringing them, I bring them to enlightenment. But also, they're bringing you to enlightenment. Because they help you to purify your negative karma and unbelievable merits, they bring to enlightenment. So that's help in the vast ways. So, and really amazing. So anyway, so So I was talking about the motivation, then the focus, unknowing, then one is unbelievable length of time, unbelievable length of time, then cannot see one cause unknowing, then maybe so far the sense of place. I think might be that. So the one, unbelievable distance, and one cause, one might be cause, one cause of unknowing might be that. So however, Arhatas have not removed that, so cannot do a perfect work for sentient being. So from the story, in the public story, you can understand. So, so you need to remove, to do perfect work for the sentient being, so you need to achieve state of omniscience. Then to achieve the omniscience, therefore I'm going to listen to teaching, think, Bodhicitta motivation, okay. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned about, but again, you shouldn't misunderstand. Shouldn't misunderstand that everybody that you all should have a couple lives, couple husband, wife. Everybody should have. I'm not saying that. Those who have a couple has those who have a couple in their life. See, then I'm saying what you should do, or what you see. I'm giving advice, or say, how to make the life useful, better. So suggesting that they can say So His Holiness said, if you follow delusion, remember Jesuits, if you follow the delusion, then it harms you and harms to others. Others means, you see, numberless sentient beings. Yeah. Yes. Even one sentient being, two sentient beings, but then numberless sentient beings. And this special thing from life to life, harm. You follow the delusion. So, if you follow the good heart, then it benefits you. It benefits to all sentient beings. Brings happiness to all the sentient beings. If you follow the good heart. First, you want to know that. Then His Holiness says that, you see, in my life is it beneficial for sentient being sick. In my life is beneficial for sentient being the big sick, sick. But sick, you see, but it is beneficial for sentient, but which is beneficial for sentient beings. In my life, if we died, it's beneficial. That's the most beneficial for sentient beings. You see. So being sick is the most beneficial for sentient beings. Die is the most beneficial for sentient beings. Or whatever is best for sentient beings, let that happen. Let that happen. You choose that. You see. You dedicate your life for something. So, if sick is most beneficial, big sick, and death most beneficial for something. Then you see, death. You choose that. That's incredible practice. That's the best happiness. You have to know happiness. You have to know really peaceful, happy mind. No fear, no regret. Wow, seeing this, if you cancel, whatever cancel, whatever sickness you have. If since the most beneficial, sentient being, beneficial life for sentient being, then travel that. My life to die is most beneficial to me. Let it happen that. So you choose that. So you choose it. You totally dedicate to your life. Numberless sentiments. You understand? Not one person. Not one person. Numberless sentiments. You dedicate it. You give it. And then you choose that. What is most beneficial? Oh, that's the expert. That you know how to live life. Expert. Oh, that's, you see, being sick, cancer, whatever is sick, but you say, did you experience the first something? Oh, best. Wow, nobody sends things. Wow. Oh, it's unbelievable purification. And that, you see, that much kuka you achieve enlightenment. But with that bodhicitta, kuka you achieve enlightenment. You see? So then someone says, you see, afraid of death. I mean, then you say, you do so much pujas for death, so much pujas. You know, something the long life mantras or long life for your own, you see, so much pujas. Then you don't do this practice. You don't do this, this benefit others your life. You never do this practice. Then yourself, doing so much puja, doing spend so much. You didn't say yourself, but yeah. Then when the death comes, then so afraid. Wow, when the death comes, you did so much puja, but then my death was this, then for pujas. Then when the exhale comes, so afraid, wow, so sad, so afraid, wow, you die with that. So when you die with that, you end up life with that. You see like that. So you're not inspiring family. You see, you cause them so sad. They can't do anything. Even the king, who has population, millions, zillions population, when the king dies, nobody can take with him. Even how much world he has, even an atom, he can't take through the next life, pitch life. They can't do anything. They all have to leave him. He has to separate from all of them. So all this millions, zillions population. So something. And the beggar, when the beggar dies, he has to leave the stick, separate from the stick. So that's see. So in the kasare. Oh, kasai. Someone said, you see. So when you run puja, so the death for the death puja. You see, you don't do those practices, benefit others. Never. Then puja, then when the actual death comes, so much fear, then you die with that thought, with so much fear. Then, then someone didn't separate, say, the families, all the people come to see him. Even the people who usually don't come to see to talk, but they come at the time of death, before you die, or after you're dead, or before you die, then they come far away to see you. Something like that. Some of the stories say something like that. Normally you don't do, but all the people, persons about died, and you come from far to see them. And so everybody is so sad when the person is so worried, afraid, crying, or dying. Then they can't do anything. The family, the friends, how many billions, zillion children come to see me, they can't do anything. They can't do anything. So they have to cry together, So sad. So you understand? This way, keep this in the mind. Keep this in the heart. That what his son's advice. You understand? You want to know how to live the life. That's part of the advice, how to live the life. You understand? So very simple. Very simple. It's just your mind. So this way, thought to benefit others. Buddhist practice. Oh, so you live the life for others. Numberless sentiments, what happened? So, by thinking that you continuously are sick or you get worse, yes, this was sentiments. Oh, then, so mind is so happy, so much happiness, satisfaction, so much happiness in there. But numberless sentiments. So, as you prayed, then it's getting worse. Yes, this is what the most beneficial sentiments. So even you're dying, that's what you prayed, if death is the most beneficial person, made it happen. So then this is happening to you. Then you see, so happy, mind is so happy. Oh, like that. Yeah. Then that's so important life, so important. Whether you are sick, whether you have cancer, whether you are sick or not, so important to see how to live the life. You see, you understand. So if you don't know how to live the life, it makes you, like I say, so much suffering. It brings your emotional mind, your negative emotional mind brings so much suffering in your life. You understand? Then if you total benefit others, champagne samba, total benefit others, bodhicitta, total benefit, so much happiness, now and future. Now, right now, when you die, future is the enlightenment. You have to understand that. What the benefits is unbelievable. Future, the benefit, enlightenment. Now, so much happiness, satisfaction. Even that happens, so much happiness. Wasn't future enlightenment? People samsara. Wow. So you have to practice this. How to live the life. All like that. So, sorry. My talk became longer. And then I thought to say this. I didn't remember because I wrote my note, so I didn't remember. So you see, but maybe good to know that. So you see, in the business, even you learn business from Harvard University or whichever university, economics, what. You see now, yes, if you don't have a clairvoyance, you don't know what's going to turn out next year. Business, you say, what is going to turn out next year? Next year, you have no idea. So you expect a profit. Wow, next year, wow. You expect you have your own so much expectation, but you don't have karma to success. You see, so you have a karma opposite to lose, but you see you don't know. So, but because through the business, what you learned and the success. Wow, But you see, so you need clairvoyance. At least, even if you don't have omniscient mind, you need clairvoyance to see the future, so that you know which way you lose, which way you gain. You see, even business you need clairvoyance to see the future. You understand? So to run the government, you need clairvoyance. To run the government. Of course, bodhicitta taught the benefit others. Of course, it's the root. And then also to run the government, you need clairvoyance. So you can see the future. Right and wrong. Lose and gain, right and wrong. You can see the future if you have clairvoyance. Oh, you need clairvoyance. Otherwise, you're hoping for the good result, but we don't have karma, so you lose. Then so much problem happens. The running government. So also, the doctor, being doctor, to recognize exactly, diagnose exactly all the sicknesses, and the medicine exactly what it fits. To each person. All that you need. If you don't have omniscient mind, at least clairvoyance can see. So many in many lives, in so many lives, you need clairvoyance. Otherwise, you make mistakes. You know that wrong diagnosis, the wrong medicine, or you have wrong understanding. So I want to explain this. Pema Sambhava explained in the degenerate time. In the degenerate time, the sicknesses doesn't follow, that diagnosis doesn't follow what is said in the text. In what I explained in the text. This is the pulse, and this is where, then this is sickness. You see it written there, for example, Tibetan text. But when the time is so much degenerate, that time it doesn't follow. It doesn't follow to that explanation. So there's danger, doctor give wrong medicine. You understand? When the time is so much degenerate. So then what to do? Pema Sambhava gave a medicine Buddha. There's a medicine Buddha retreat. It is in the Rinchen Tenzo, Nima, the Rinchen precious treasure text, Rinchen Tenzo. There's a because as well, I have allowed though. So it's printed on Tibetan paper from Tibet. So I just have a look. Have a look go through. So there's a text to retreat, medicine by the retreat. There's Pema Sambhava set up by Pema Sambhava. So I told one doctor, I myself didn't retreat. One doctor who is from New Zealand, is a Western doctor. I'm the assistant in first in the Lama doctor for many years at Dharamsala before other doctors happened. So I explained to him the text and that this retreat. If you do this retreat, then that 3 ways, seems even you haven't learned really the medical knowledge, the diagnosis and all this. But you see, by having a retreat, then if you're taking the patients, then the understanding just comes. The able diagnosis exactly without slight mistake, exactly. That this is able to explain and the medicine. While you're checking, the understanding comes. The other thing is Dragonis, next one. You can't do that. But Dragonis from backside tells you when you're checking the patients. Dragonis, they are backside telling you what things the patient has and what medicine to be taking. Then the next one is tomorrow you're going to see patients. Then tonight in the dream comes, it shows. So like that. So I explained to him, but I don't think he's retreated yet. There is a text, yes, should be very useful. very, very useful. So I think this for sickness to how you say like that. As far as sickness, yes, I think it's clairvoyance was like that 3 levels way. So depending on how you after the retreat and how much you able to achieve it. So like that. Of course, the Kasuri best something that you can trust is the clairvoyance after you achieve karma about Shine. Shine, karma about then yes, then there's something that you can trust, clairvoyance. But I think there's many other ways to do to achieve, but I think probably the best one is Shine. Yes, basically through purification. This obscuration, negative karma obscuration blocks the mind to see those phenomena which you don't know. So, yeah. All of that. Okay. So I left out what time? Huh? 22:06. 22:06. 22:06 to die. Okay. Okay, so I have to finish this talk. Sorry. So everyone has a world. Everyone has world. It's good to have world because you can increase sunam gets up a little bit chokes. So you can increase merit your virtue by using your word. Yeah, so you can do that. So the essence, so life having wealth, then how to look at that positive. So you understand? And if you don't have wealth, it says, yeah, so temporary and future, temporary and long run, all the happiness benefits, how much there is, it is definitely result of merit, result of quality merit. So for the time being and long run, you see, all the happiness benefits, how much there is definitely the result of your quality merit. So yeah, so that's saying, if you have wealth, then how that is good to have wealth. But if you don't have wealth, then it is said before, it's good if you don't have wealth because worry to protect, worry, then fear to lose, all that, chase activities, you don't have that. You don't have all that worry, fear to protect, to lose, and all this, you see. You don't have all those activities, so you are free. You have happiness, you are free. And then, how much there's a fight, become as angry, instead of harmonious, or disharmony, kind of violent, or disharmony, angry, how much there is. How much there is angry, violence, or fight, how much there is, all definitely come from words, that you are attached to, that you are clinging to, attached to. So the main problem is attached to. So, like the bodhisattvas, like Buddhas, like bodhisattvas, you see, having in the past the bodhisattvas 1,000 wives, or so much wealth, and no attachment, only benefiting sentient beings. That's different. Then next one, musician shiva gas. You want to cool die. It is better. If you cool die, that's better. Then it's good to die. If you cool die, if that's better, then good to die. And this means for sentient beings. Why? Jingyi parto ma chue jing, tam chue ji kecho, sang chobe, ma nu yuran de chue berngi. Jingyi parto ma chue jing. So why is good? So, that means, you see, not interfered by the bad conditions. So that means bad condition means better condition outside, externally, and also internally, or that even somebody try to explain Dharma or what to think, but you can't. Your mind unable to think with so much pain, unbelievable pain. We can't grasp the words. So there are many conditions, you see, like that. Coma, when you die in the coma, then many conditions, unbelievable pain. You can somebody try to explain Dharma, how to think, how to leave the conscience freely, you see. Power, transparent conscience, pure land. But some of the pain or the other conditions come out, you see, so you can't, that doesn't become useful for the person. When there's better condition, giving an example, better condition like this happens. So, like that bad condition didn't interfere you now, didn't happen now. And samjo je gejer sangchobes. So, you see, samjo je gejer sangchobes. So, good practitioner, so somebody who is living good samaya, good practitioner, or say, then explain you, you do puja prayer, explain you. then you see your mind can go to Pure Land, for example, power or like that. You see, then your mind can go to Pure Land. From this life to better life in the future. Better life in the future, or even to be on Pure Land, all like that. You see, it can help with that. Interesting. So, all that karma or some unbelievable pain. One is near time to die, then so much pain, this and that, some problems, and can't even somebody try to explain, cannot think. So like that. You see. So now, then, without interfered by bad conditions, so somebody who is a good Samaya, somebody who is a good person, also they can do the puja or prayers, and they can explain you. So your mind can they can help your mind so that you can Pure Land or better put or something that. So definitely, your mind goes in the unmisting path. They help your mind definitely to enter in the unmisting path. But if you are living long time. If that is better, what I mentioned before, if that is better for sentient being, then it's good to be alive. Why it's better to be alive? So to generate the crops of the experience of the path, to grow the crops of the in the experience in the path. You see the heat of the teaching, heat means fresh. The heat of the teaching not dissipate. Something fresh, fresh of the teaching. Maybe heat of the teaching, the fresh of the teaching, not dissipate. The advisor teaching. You just remember juice. So by a long time practicing, by a long time relying on that, then the paths get ripened in your heart, actualized in your heart. Just imagine. Whatever happens to your life, example, all these things, what negative side and the other one positive side, what is regarded usually in the world by ordinary people. Whatever happens, but for you, Dharma practitioner, whatever happens to your life, but be happy. Whatever happens in life, even you have a cancer, even you have a diabetes, even cancer, or is it no cancer, no sickness, or whatever is your mind happy. So be happy. So whichever life, be happy. So it means your life is totally dedicated for sentient being. So what do we experience? You experience for sentient beings. See, Lama Dhammarikita, Lama Adesha's guru, on the Lama Sinimba, from whom he received 12 years, total complete Buddhist teachings. And then each time when he mentioned, when he hears or when he mentions name, then I think he maybe stands up or he cries each time, so much devotion to like that. And then other one Lama Dhammarikita. The Lama Dhammarikita wrote a Will of Sharp Weapons. So there it says this must write down. It's very important write down to remember, to remind you all the time. So Lula means Nasa Chunga says. Lula means Nasa Chunga says. When you experience unbearable suffering, unbearable pain, when you experience unbearable pain to your body, Lula means Nasa Chunga says. Shingulula never joins, so you have harm to others' body in the past. That's because you harmed to others' body. Shingulula never joins in the past. You see? Shingulula never joins. Oh, immediately you have to remember that. Toothache, headache, whatever, cancer, whatever happens, first thing, remember, was it? Because you have harmed others. That's the very first thing. The evolution, choosing the evolution. Choosing the evolution. So it's the camp of your mind, you see. So in problem with it, because with the self-cherishing thought, with the attachment, with self-cherishing, with the anger, with the ignorance, you gave harm to others. So it's camp of your mind. So now this pain, whatever it came from your mind. Shin Lula Naba Javain. Lula means Nasa Chunga say, Shin Lula Naba Javain. Tani Nasa Malu Rang Langs. Tani Nasa Malu Rang Langs. So now what to do? Now what to do? You understand? Tani is now what to do. Not every single pain, take it in yourself. Every single pain, take it on yourself. That means every sentence means pain, take it on yourself. So that means you use your pain, cause to achieve enlightenment. Not only for yourself to be kind of like taking drug. Wow. No, enlightenment. For sentient beings. So that means all sentient beings, you are using your pain to all sentient beings to achieve enlightenment. You understand? Keep that in mind. Write down. You should remember this. You have to put it in diary book. Put in your diary book. Okay? All right. It's very important. This is so good to remember every day, to remember this. When something undesirable thing, anything undesirable thing, but remember this. You understand? Undesirable thing, even it's not pain, but it's maybe mental pain. Fantastic. Oh, you enjoyed. You enjoyed. You experiencing cancer, or experiencing umbrella pain, headache, or whatever it is. you are making the best happiness. You are making the best happiness. Enjoying. You understand? That. So then especially, Tonglen. So this so Tonglen, every single suffering that takes on suffering is all sentient beings suffering. You understand? Wow, that's best. You make your life most happy. You understand? The suffering, the most happy. See, even suffering. So. Time finished. What? 3 minutes to die. 3 minutes to live. Okay, so this I haven't received room of this. I haven't received complete room of the Lama Zopa teaching. I received many important ones from Isuna Lama, many other important things from other teachers, like Tangre Shinpo, the interpretive meaning, the heart of the good explanation, and the from the Rinpoche, from I think from Isuna, from Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and the Madamiga, yes, but complete teaching room I haven't received yet, but hoping to that very soon. I did request Geshe Dugda, who's the main teacher in the Jime Monastery or Tantra College, so teaching many Geshes. That's how I did request to him. So sooner or later, to Kapon or to teacher Kapon. So there is all the ones and nuns, they can receive also. So anyway, I did request, and so to him to give. Anyway, so maybe Lama Tsongkhapa's this transforming suffering into happiness. I didn't receive the all time, but I can go through this. For example, yes, many times other people's disease, problems, but you're doing Tonglen, taking others in suffering, they give your happiness to the others in in that way, by doing sincerely, then other person's disease is recovered. This happened many times. This happens. This one I don't. don't remember complete name. Complete name. There's in the garden lives his son, which is house. Yeah, I don't remember his. So anyway, he was a lady. I think he did Tonglen. She has stolen, her. I think I don't know, through the egg or something big stolen here. So he did Tonglen, and she got better, and then she got better, and she got better, and he got this stolen. Then later, she invited him in the West, Australia. Now he lives in Australia, I think. Didn't seem expert. I was externally Dharma philosophy, but he has experience of this Tonglen, and it's helping the other people also like that. That is it's an incredible thing to do the Tonglen. So I advise that when we walk in the street, so maybe here you don't see much, but in India, in the road, you see people who have deformed body and so much suffering. You see, animals, so much suffering, carrying huge, heavy load in full carriage, So, what you do is Tonglen in the right way. You do Tonglen, take that sentient cause of suffering in your heart. Then you give your happiness, the merit through that being. And even a person, somebody with so much suffering, but you take all the suffering, the cause suffering, and you give your happiness virtue to that person. So like that you can practice. So even while you're walking, and so good, fantastic. You can pray, and you can pray for them. Fantastic practice. So you can go outside, walk around, and do Tonglen practice. You can go in just for that. It's unbelievable. So you try to meditate, more than sky, unbelievable, way around doing that. And then Fred has many stories by doing Tonglen, who recovered cancer. Or in China, I remember one China, I don't know the person, but he read my book and did Tonglen and recovered his cancer. And Fred has many stories. So I told him to make a book on all that. By reciting by Tonglen. And then he made, a long time ago, then he made book in Nepal, he showed me. So I was telling maybe to translate into Tibetan or something. I was remember to Raja to, something like that. So anyway, so this incredible practice. So the Kadamba Geshe Chikawa, so he has been praying every day to be born in hell for sentient beings. Every day he's been praying to be born in hell. Bring that sincerely, not just joke, not just political. No, sincerely to be born in the hell for sentient beings. Instead of sentient beings suffering, he suffer for them. So then the day when he won't pass away, then instead of hell, then Pure Land happened. Round him, Pure Land, vision of Pure Land happened, and he told his attendant, didn't succeed his prayer. So like that. So the power of his good heart, to born pure, appearance of Pure Land happened rather than hell. The power is a good heart. So like that. So best. So I want to tell you, even the medicine doesn't help. Whether it's cancer, whatever it is, doesn't help, and even it gets worse. Okay, so Tonglen, if you can do Tonglen continuously, you see, each time when you take suffering of sentient beings and cause, you collect merit more than sky. Sky is limitless. You collect more than sky merit. Each time you take the suffering of sentient beings, the numberless sentient beings. All like that. Each time you give your happiness, your merits, result happiness, including enlightenment, all the temporary ultimate, including enlightenment, all the merits, you see, your body possessions, you give others sentient beings. With each one, you collect merits more than sky. You have to know that. Like this. Unbelievable merit. Wow. Then each time you do, when you Tonglen, taking other sentiment suffering, giving your happiness to others, you become closer to enlightenment. You become closer to enlightenment. More distant from samsara, closer to enlightenment. Then if you die, that's the best way to die. Best way to die with bodhicitta. He also often says, best way to die is bodhicitta, with bodhicitta. You understand? If you die, best one. You die with anyway, we have to die anyway. So you want to die with so much fear, worry, or self-cherishing, with the subject of fear, worry, with the attachment. So it is like separating you from the enjoyment, your family, from your body, then Lord, so anyway you're going to die, so you're going to have all this worry, fear, all these things, suffering, all this, and the Lord, to Tonglen now to Tonglen. So when this is get worse, when you actually die, you go to Pure Land. You understand? Like the Katamba you go to Pure Land. You go to better life. You go to Pure Land, and then after then you achieve Amitabha Pure Land. After that, then you achieve enlightenment. And in the Vajrayana Pure Land, right there you achieve enlightenment. You understand? So this best, if you're able to turn best life. Most happy life, best life. So you have to tell me, every moment of your life most beneficial for all the sentient beings. You understand? Every single numberless happy, numberless animal, numberless human being, numberless spirit, numberless you understand? Everyone benefit. You understand? So relating myself, much of the time, when the eye has pain, when the eye has pain, then, even when I don't do Tonglen, actual Tonglen, but just about to do, just about close to do, the pen goes away. It's like that. It's I think the sort of the, well, I don't know, the power of the total benefit of the soul, I don't know, something like that. So when it's about to do, then pen stops. But I can't say whether it's bad or good. I can't say bad or good. But I can't say whether that is thought transformation practice or not, obviously. But it happens. And then sometimes I store my pen, so sometimes in the past, none now. Many people think I have a pen, but I don't have a pen at all now. Past, so maybe I thought maybe cancer. So when there's pen, I thought maybe cancer. So I do Tonglen, you know. So even when you don't do Tonglen exactly, but it's just about thought, just about thought to do, or thought to do, or thinking Tonglen. So when it starts, then it goes away, as many times like that. That's just yeah, just tiny, the tiny bit there, so the experience of even thinking, not excluding, but even thinking to do, that is power, so much. So if you are smart, if you are a fortunate person, smart, then Tonglen anytime, whether there's medicine can cure or not cure or whatever, or Tonglen, that's spend life in that. Wow. Whether it's cure or not cure, what Tonglen, that's benefit to every single sentient being, to achieve enlightenment. You understand? So even when you take medicine, thinking is for taking the medicine to benefit your sentient beings. You are alive to be able to benefit sentient beings. So so in the past, so time to time you see, that you are liable to be beneficial for sentient beings, so taking medicine. So in the hospital, so if you're in the hospital, then in the hospital there's so many sick people, so you can take all the sickness on yourself. At least, not all the sentient, but at least the hospital sick people. So take it on yourself. So see, can help if you do sincerely, can help them. So it's very good to do like that. For the best, of course, than all the sentient being. So, however, so whatever treatment you are doing, I think you are doing this. You are doing this for all the sentient beings. So your life to be most beneficial for sentient beings. So you're doing this treatment for all the sentient beings. And so remember that, rather than just only with the self-cherishing thought and torturing yourself. Torturing you, nobody torture you by yourself. Rather than that, and then think of make your life happy. Or then your life to be more better for sentient beings than having this treatment for sentient beings. It's all that. So everything what you do, as much as even you don't have bodhicitta, but as much as possible, you do it for sentient beings. All of that. So eating food or whatever the enjoyment and sleep and whatever enjoy, or try as much as possible for sentient beings. Not like that. So as much as possible. So this Lama Zopa was advised. Maybe I say. So Ringrupa, I think who preserve practice, the Lama Zopa lineage teaching. So there's I think Kashi Zimba, Sherpa Sangpo, so I think I don't know what exactly. So I think that's like the Harama Geshe, expert or thing like that. Sherpa Sangpo, he asked question to Lama Zopa. So Lama Zopa, he asked question, So Lama Zopa wrote this at the writing. I think the simplest way he wrote Lamre Chamo. The two rooms, but called ruined. One side of rocks, a little thrown left. So above his Guru Lama Umaba, the one rebuilt. But the Lama Zopa's the two rooms were totally ruined. The stones, one side stone left. But so precious, those stones, unbelievable. So I didn't get to ask. I went there in the evening time to church. I did with a monk. The Chinese appointed to run the writing monastery, and he was there. And I could ask one stone to give me, but really, I didn't get to ask. Well, maybe I didn't get thinking that time. So with the church. There are little candles and with Lady Giotto. So then it became late. Already we went up late. So that day, the monastery, the monk appointed by Chinese to run the monastery, he invited us and met tea offering and the snakes in the Heru. So we did. So after that we went up. Well, Lama Zopa wrote Lamdrum, Chimo, and became dark. We did church preparatory practice, and then we come down night time. So but as a slope, as a come down as a sloppy. So, but I think nobody fell down. So it works arrived monastery safely. Yeah. So today I was thinking maybe to build the 2 rooms, Lama Zopa. Today I thought Lama Umabas built a new house, but build a small room. But then I think they may not let me build, because you can see now what happened in Tibet. Destruction, so you can see the destruction. Whereas you rebuild, you can't see the destruction again. So I don't think rebuild may not be a good idea. They may not like. I'm not sure. So yeah. So he asked by that. Because a virtual friend, yeah, he asked, please give to utilize suffering in the path to enlightenment. Short, very short teaching. He asked. Then Lama Zopa said, we are we are the men who preserve the teaching. Trusin duale myomo, trusin duale myomo. That I'm not sure. When young Katal Michaki Chitu daughter the Solnas, Trusin dualism, maybe that Lama, that Kashi Zimbashira Palsambo, that virtual friend, and that I think he already have experience, these things, utilizing suffering in the past to enlightenment. So then he already has, and then this is talking about this as something which wasn't there. So but because he asked, so do not break his request. So if I explain in short, Dungalam the Sevani, Niki, Dungalam the Sevani, Niki Ribertades. Desert Dungalam de Rotavatans. Tene, Dungalam the wrong vessels. So the utilizing suffering in the past done by 2 things, done by 2 methods. One is the not desiring the suffering. Like this, not desiring the suffering, so dispel that mind, stop that mind. That's first. That's the first. Then dungal lamd wrong so then utilizing the suffering in the past, turning the the suffering into path to enlightenment. So these two things. So way to transform the suffering into happiness is there's two methods. Dungala sere chizam chewa, dungala sere chizam chewa, tetamji yimin dewa pelve, the dungala. How much you consider sere? I don't know what the English word. How much you concerned when one is concerned, how much you are concerned with suffering. I'm going to see, because your mind is so big. You see, your mind kind of makes so big. Even something small problem, but your mind makes so big. I'm this, that, you make so big. You see that, right? Say, concern you. How much you concern the suffering, that much the unhappiness increases. Unhappiness increases, then it bit dunglas, then it torment you. Tela tene, you to be shedang. But depending on that, then your mind gets disturbed. Too much concern. Such a small thing. I mean, there's no problem, but there's no problem. But your mind make problem. Basically, also like that. It's a small suffering problem, but you exaggerate so much. You make big problem. So that's like this. But depending on that, so you see, so much concern with your suffering, then because that the unhappiness increases, then that tortures you, that torments you. But depending to that, then you should be shaitan pelve, chimar dive trude maybe. But depending on that, then you see it disturbs your mental continuum. Disturbs your mental continuum, then increases anger. Then by that, I'm not 100% sure they hear what's written here is correct or not, but so later, chimar dive, jundu maybe, maybe jundu. Chimar, so later, that's my guess. Later, there's no genuine happiness, nothing. In the later, then you see, so much, you see, you give so much suffering yourself. You torment you so much suffering. You torment you and so much suffering arises. So if you are expert, wise, if you are wise, then if you are a wise person, then you see, you can say if you are a practitioner, if you are a wise person, genuine wise person, if you are a practitioner, you can say, then don't be too concerned. Don't be too concerned of your suffering. If you are wise, don't be too concerned. You can see some people so tiny, so much the concern. They maybe they make the suffering so big. So, for example, in one hotel, you're there, then you saw in the nighttime fleas. You saw fleas nighttime jumping during sleep. Then, because that you want to move the hotel, you want to move next hotel or another hotel. You want to go. So, for example, I said, whatever. So if you're wise, then you don't generally thought so much concerned of your suffering. You see, you don't that. So you energize. You make strong your mind, not weak, strong. You make your mind strong. With many reasons, you put many reasons. To rise again, the definite. You see the encouragement, the strong mind, so that brings happiness, you see. No. So generated again. But the reasons, many reasons. So on your heart, on your mind, so strong, so powerful, so strong, your heart, your mind become powerful, not discouraged or not affected with this, what maybe not problem or maybe small problem or whatever. So concerned so much. So you're not concerned with the very strong, powerful mind. So when you generate strong, powerful mind, you see, then even the suffering is great. Cancer getting worse. So cancer is getting worse, or whatever other disease, whatever other problems, other problems, wars, whatever in the country, to you, whatever harm become greater, but you don't get tormented. You don't suffer. Your mind is happy. Even though there are many problems, many heavy problems rises, but you see, but your mind is happy. They don't torment you. They don't torment you. Then your heart is so small. The power of your heart is, your mind is small. Then actually, without meaning, if your heart, if your power that your heart is small, no courage. It's with not much courage into your power. Your heart is small. Then without meaning, then that's very unnecessary. Without meaning, then you will suffering. Things turned out to suffering. See, then you suffer. Things become suffering. You suffer without purpose, without meaning. For example, it says, a hero, if you see your own blood, you are injured, and you see blood to yourself, then that causes you especially to be great hero. Oh, seeing your blood, then you're injured, you see your blood, then especially, then that encourages you. Oh, this is special encourages you, you know? Grows so much the courage of mind, you see. Then who don't have courage, small heart, power heart, then if they see you see blood, you know, the others injured, you see blood, then you become fainted. 다음에 셈이 타토나 야신 보고 좋아하시노. 람데 땅와라 라나 때데 람데 제와든 셀리미데 자완이 당문이 사. I cannot finish with just stop here. Lamda Tangwala, now utilize the suffering in the path to enlightenment. Lamda Tangwala, Rana Tade, Lamda Shavada. But depend on yourself, then utilize in path to enlightenment. Sen Lamide, by focusing others, the suffering in the utilized in path to enlightenment, that's true. The relating yourself in utilizing suffering, the path to enlightenment, but then generate strong power of the mind. Thinking, rising suffering like this. So having the sort of share so having power of wisdom, discerning wisdom. So it brings qualities. So that brings qualities. Brings qualities. So therefore, should be happy. The suffering is good. Suffering is good. So So, generating thought renunciation to samsara. The suffering causes, you see, to generate renunciation to samsara. So you think that's nature, this problem, that's because you are in samsara. So that's mistakes, you bring samsara. So generation renunciation to samsara. So you want to be free from samsara, you see. So general renunciation to samsara, that's one thing. And then second thing, and then Buddha Dhamma Sangha, who frees you from samsara, and then frees other sentient beings from samsara, suffering. So, totally rely on Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Dabla yidin chabadang, dabla yidin chabadang. So, totally rely on Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Because of suffering, samsara. So that's the benefit of suffering. Then you see your arrogance. By seeing the suffering that you experience, by seeing the suffering, then that eliminates your mind arrogance. Arrogance, it eliminates your mind the feeling arrogance. Then you see you become more careful to not create the cause, negative karma. You become more careful. And so you are more happy. Your mind is more happy to create virtue because this suffering. So that then you able to generate compassion to the sentient beings. So it causes to generate compassion to other sentient beings who are suffering samsara. It causes to generate compassion to them. So then if you generate compassion, then if you generate compassion, then you are able, from that you are able to achieve enlightenment. Without compassion, there's no enlightenment. So if there's compassion, there's enlightenment. If there's no compassion, no enlightenment. So you can see that big differences, having compassion, not having compassion. You can see the incredible benefits having compassion. So I stop here. So what I'm saying is this. Lojong, thought transformation is like this. Death or sicknesses, cancer, or whatever problem is, relationship problem, whatever problem is. So while you are experiencing, you see, experiencing this for sentient beings, for numberless sentient beings. You experience this for numberless sentient beings. While you are experiencing this pain, whatever relationship problem or whatever it is, while you experience this for sentient beings. the sentient beings suffering, you see. You experience this for sentient being. They're suffering, but let them to be free. Let them to be free from suffering. Let them to be enlightened. So, you see, yeah. So while you are experiencing the pain, or the relationship problem, or whatever it is, so dedicated work, experience this for all the sentiments. So think this, all the sentiments suffering. You experience, let them to be enlightened. You see? So, but here the goal is experience suffering of sentient being. Your goal. You experience suffering of sentient being, and they become enlightened, free from samsara. Okay. So, therefore, Lord Zhong is while the pain, while the death, while the pain, while the relationship problem, whatever is the problem, while it is happening, then you experience it for all the sentient being. You experience all the sentient being suffering, let them to be free from suffering and enlightened. So it's like that. So but you see, what you are aiming is to recover this pain. You're doing this thought transformation practice, Lojong, but you see the pain, the pain to be stopped. Whatever you're experiencing, the suffering to be stopped. You're doing Lojong, the taking suffering from others. In the experience, you're doing this to stop your pain. So you see, so the motivation is my question is the motivation. See, so to stop pain. So you're doing the Lojong, the taking the sentiment suffering, but your main motivation is to stop the pain or the relationship problem, whatever it is. You see, so in that way, if I check deeply, it doesn't become thought transformation, even though it stops your pain or, as I said before, sickness or relationship problem or anything, even though it stops. But because your aim is that, to stop, you see, then you're taking sentiments, other sentiments. So my question then, that doesn't mean Lojong, doesn't mean thought transformation. Transformation is that while you are suffering, then utilizing the path to enlightenment, you experience force sentiment, you experience sentiment suffering, and let them to be permanent enlightenment. So you see like that, the Lojong. So, but your aim is to stop your pain or whatever problem is. To stop that, then you're doing that I think maybe not sincere, maybe not 100% sincere Lojong. This is my question. Okay, thank you very much. So I think that I did not finish. So maybe it takes many eons. But I think it's very fortunate to hear Lama Zopa teaching. Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. Then tomorrow break. Then what? What? So I continue after some time, okay? Or next slide. Next slide. Next slide we come back to ABC. Everyone reborn ABC. A child reborn ABC. What? Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow teaching day. Oh, I see. So maybe I have to do. Today I talked to other things at the beginning, so but it's important. So that tomorrow, if it exists, then maybe I may have to rush a little bit. Okay? So thank you very much. Did you all the past, the best of which I made it, children I made it, when I'm listening, when I'm listening with us. With bodhicitta was the source of all the happiness and success. Including enlightenment, generated in your heart and generated in the heart of all the helpings, generated in the heart of all the hungry ghosts, all the animals, every single animals, every single human beings, every single asura beings and intermediate beings. And who has generated bodies that made it increase. O Chanjo Yasmejo Rinpoche Chemade Ba Namayanjejo Keba Nyamba Meba Ego Nego Ando Abeho. Konde ranchi adunza meba danjunde tende luwa meba penja game trosu chawa nujo konde tobara chinje lo. Today the chicken dreaming noise. Didn't say coo. So I missed that. Yesterday he did that. He or she. Isn't he? He. She doesn't do, he does. He coo. I'm sure we did numberless times in the past life. Coo. Now, how many times we ate chicken in the past life? Lamaji? Numberless times. From beginners, we ate chicken. We killed chicken, we ate chicken. You know, from you get all the happiness, past, present, future, enlightenment, everything. And from where with Lama Sangha, that you take refuge all the time, comes from the sentient being, chicken. Then you see, numberless Bodhisattvas cherish the most. Cherish the most. They renounced I, and others cherished, only cherish. Others, the chicken. Numberless Bodhisattvas cherish most precious. So, for them to achieve free from samsara, achieve enlightenment, then the Bodhisattvas, they acquire merits of virtue and merits of transformation. So the engaging path completely to achieve enlightenment, and the numberless Buddhas cherish, become enlightened for this chicken. Numberless Buddhas enlightened and cherish the most this chicken. So we say, and being mother from beginner's rebirth, cherished as most, and being born a chicken to them, to her, 100. Or then how many times that? So they press the chicken. How many times we ate, we killed. Due to ignorance, self-cherishing thoughts from beginningless birth. Wow. So like that. No. So since we can read here, so I don't have to go through. I don't have to do the English. Yeah. So it's just written there. So it's much. They have to very much save time. Did all the merits by numberless past, present, future by myself. Numberless merits collected past, present, future, and then by the sentient beings, and numberless merits past, present, future collected by Buddhas, and so do that. Sera kundu jawa tsonga ve techo shinye musu zebe jawe ngabe lansa tenye dan keche sanyang wama joje. Into meet Lama Zopa teaching, not just intellectual, to actualize what is said in the what Lama Zopa explained in the book, to have that in your heart, to actualize path. Mejo namdara tame chintan deva che jase chebe nyinto che jaso choke rinye nyamcho losan jawe tentan jawa. So I'm praying, doing prayer for all of us here and in Russia, all the students in Russia. Then another country who are listening to teaching, I'm doing these prayers for everybody. Bande Lama Jigu Jinjawa Godang Guze Zeta Shingada Cheje Senjo Sambo Jinjawa Zendra Gonanda Su Yora Bande Lame Namba Tawala Keje Sanyang Loda Meke Jinje Lepa Toye Mogu Je Lame Chila Semla Juba Medan Toa Mogu Beishin Nuwa Basa Shisanje Rewa Gonze Samban Drive Jashi The very important prayer. Did all the past, present, future merits declared by me, future merits declared by numberless sentient beings, and future merits declared by numberless Buddhas. Did all this. May the war, famine, disease, torture, poverty, then all these problems may be pacified immediately in this world. And all the dangers of earth, water, fire, wind, all this to be pacified immediately and to have perfect peace, happiness, including enlightenment. By generating loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta in everyone's heart. Okay. Then any sentient did all that three times merits declared by oneself and sentient being, both Buddhas. May any sentient being who see me, touch me, remember me, think of me, and just by that, may I see any sentient being that I see, remember, touch, hear voice, just by that. May all their suffering be pacified immediately. May they achieve all the happiness, including enlightenment, by generating bodhicitta, the loving kindness, compassion thought. And then due to all the past, present, future merits declared by me, future merits declared by numberless sentient beings, numberless Buddha. Exists, which exists in the mere name. So nothing exists from its own side. Yet I, who exists in the mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side, achieve the Buddhahood which exists in the mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side. Lead all the sentient beings who exist in the mere name, so do not exist from its own side. lead to that Buddhahood which exists in mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side. Totally empty. By myself alone, who exists in mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side, and totally empty. Jambal Chita Jemba Kunda Sambo Tian Tita Kundi Jason Dalo Jingawa Tita Tamchi Raptu Sandan Shabe Jawa Tamchi Jingwa Kala Chutuna Takeke Sawa Tikin Jasamo Chuchi Raptu No One Di Chundin Jawa Chamayan Tabasa Singamana Jawa Chaz Anjama Samba Samba Kunda Samba Chaz Rajun Jamana Manazu Jawa Chaz Anjama Samba Samba Kunda Samba Chaz Rajun Jamana Tabasa Namanazu Jawa Chaz Rajun Samba Kunda Samba Chaz Tatam Bezjawa Abodin is Zamik, Tatam Bezjawa Abon Zamik, Tatam Bezjawa Abodin is Zamik, Tatam Bezjawa Abodin is Zamik, Tatam Bezjawa is Zamik, Chanda Jawa Jama was the West and the Major Javala Chaza, Moadamana Javala Chaza, Mission Javila, Dangala Taba to the Ganadama Underwara. Kaza, Jistin Kaza. Ah. Jida Kamande Hende Maluba Thank you very much.